The third section deals with the context of their experience. Now that may sound obvious. The context is communion. But the Christian church has many contexts. There's weddings, there's funerals, and there's memorials, ordinations, baptisms, christenings, and so on and so forth. So I didn't want to kind of broaden the lens to say what is their experience in church. I wanted to know their experience specifically around the communion table. Now what I did was really fascinating. I brought to the table 4 lenses in which their experiences or their perceived experiences could be analyzed. It's like wearing 4 different pairs of glasses to see an experience in 4 different ways. Now, you'd have to read the book to actually get into that. But it was like Alice in Wonderland, Alice looking through the looking glass, where in the story that Lewis Carroll wrote, he describes what is real, and then when Alice looked through the looking glass, what is really real. In the same sense, what I discovered, without Alice in Wonderland becoming a bias, I'm just using that as an illustration, is that the students, they believed in something that was real, a God, an eternity, a presence. But none of it was defined by Scripture. None of it had any light from the Scripture coming onto it. So the experience of the students was sub-orthodox. It was less than what the Scriptures were saying, but it was close enough to be curious, like looking through a looking glass. They perceived something real, but knew intuitively there was something really real. If you'll allow me to say, it was like the Matrix movies, the green pill and the red pill. There's a world here, but there's a really real world over here. This is precisely what emerged out of their experiences, is communion became a catalyst for an experience that was more real than what they perceived day-to-day life was. Now, I found that absolutely fascinating. This may sound like a childish cliche, but when we suspend predetermined understandings, when we suspend the language of it, when we suspend what they ought to experience, should experience, and we open the door and say what you could experience, we not only open the door to the church, we open the door to fresh experiences of God, where God is revealed in a life in a way that is fresh, that is new, and culturally relevant to today's students that represent late millennials and Generation Z.